hear the compressor. Yeah, that's our switch right there for power to the AC, so we're good. You may have one that you can pull out. We're gonna get in here, and that's 5/16, I believe. We're gonna back these out. We'll put these back in by hand so we don't strip the screw. We're gonna open this up and see if this is 2 coils or 1. So I haven't ever opened this one up. That is not in there very good. We'll get in there and check here in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and undo all of those. You got to be careful. Sometimes there's wasp nests in there if you've never. This is a single coil, but it's pretty thick, so I'm going to clean it from the inside too. Let me see how I can move that without damaging anything. That's lifted up somewhat. I think I'm just gonna have to prop it up like this so I don't have to undo the whole fan, and then I'll be able to get in there and vacuum it. All right, that's where we dug out the thing the other day. I don't want to put too much strain on there, but I need that lifted up so I can get in there. All right, good. So there's a separation between the fan and the rest of the compressor over here. All those leaves that have built up in there, I've got to vacuum those out, and then we'll spray the inner part of the coil, let it set for a couple minutes, and then we'll do the same thing. But this coil, especially along here at the top, is not in great shape. I don't know how much longer this AC unit's going to last, but if we can get it through one season, that'll be good enough, and then I'll have a chance to replace it. Right up under here. And I'm going to try to get most of those small leaves out. I don't want any leaves sticking up against this. So the water will drain right here, and it'll go down this port here. There's another drain on the other side, on the same side, so it fills up in here. I want to make sure this is all clean. I'm getting ready to go ahead and spray this down. And then once I spray it down, then I'll wash all of that out. And some of that stuff that cleans out the coils will help break up and clean up some of that. But I took my knife and made sure that was clear. Same thing on the other side. Made sure those ports were clear so they would drain and water wouldn't build up in there. Spray that stuff on there. Make sure you're wearing a mask. You got goggles on. This stuff is super corrosive. I've already sprayed some in. I'm going to just give it another round. You probably do all this in one can. It's just this one has not been cleaned in a while, so I'm going to overdo it. We'll give it a couple minutes just to soak in. And I'm going to get this vac out of here because I don't want this to hit any electrical current. All right, when you get ready to spray that down, make sure, since we're going to be spraying water, we don't want it to go and hit that breaker because it's still got power coming in from the outside. I'm going to wash inside those coils. Just try to rinse all that stuff out. Get these little leaves out here that have been sucked up against there without doing any damage. I don't want anything that's got too much pressure, but I don't want to damage the coils. We want that airflow to go through there. It looks like it's cleaning it out pretty good, but I see it over here on this side so that I know it's draining. And I'll look at all those ports and make sure that's coming out the other side. Part of that's just foam that you see in there. The water is actually draining out, but the foam is still building up. But that'll help clean all this other stuff out that was left after we vacuumed. So you can see it's flowing out pretty good here. And I'll continue. Also want to bring not too much. I don't want to keep the hose too close, but I want to be able to see that that water comes out this other side. So you don't want a lot of pressure so that it bends those fins or bends the coils. But you do want to see it being able to flow through the other side without it being right up against there. So get it good and clean. Then I'll just put the top back on and turn the power back on. Well, that's it. But as you can see here, there's my compressor. That's not too dirty in the bottom. You'll want to put these in by hand instead of with a drill or an impact wrench, because then you run the risk of stripping them out. So at least by doing it by hand, you can kind of have a feel. I'm going to put these 3 in here and then get everything lined up on the other side. So here's our breaker. Come back to this point. Kick that bad boy back on. Now we're back in action.